Ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you the Rodriguez family. Now go run back to your seat. Still left my wife. Went back there. She's like, we're good. My wife had a normal pregnancy carrying our youngest child, Ari. 0 complications. In fact, he was the only one of our 3 children who was not only born on his due date, but we brought home the following day. Within days, we noticed that something was not right. Ari appeared to be frozen at times. We were told that this is something that babies do during early development. New neurological connections get made, and we were assured that it was nothing. And it turns out it was right. It was nothing. Nothing that anyone really understood. We learned that Ari was having seizures, up to 100 a day, but why? Understanding this was the start of my family's journey that would take us around the country and back, meeting doctors, looking for answers, and looking for a magic pill. And the clock was ticking. Ari's seizures were relentless. They just didn't stop. And every day that passed was a day that we knew we would never get back. And as much as we held on, our hopes and our dreams for Ari and a chance of a normal life drifted further and further away with each seizure. Too many people share common elements of my family's story. Yet tragically, even more have an added element, something absolutely unconscionable. They don't have a doctor to call their own, a trained epilepsy expert capable of navigating the incredibly complex world of stopping seizures. Now, just to keep up with the nationwide demand, by my calculations, I don't know if anyone else is doing calculations, but by my calculations, we need to train a minimum of 150 new pediatric neurologists each year. Now, that doesn't sound like a big number, but as Andrew Gumpert said earlier today, when the number is below 50, and some years below 20, we have a problem. We're not going to end epilepsy with these kind of numbers, and that's the point of this dinner. Earlier this evening, I told you that the slogan was to continue. But before going forward, it's important to take a step back and see how far we have come in a relatively short period of time. You can't help but have a sense of pride by our accomplishments and your accomplishments that you have made. Today, when factoring in all of the fellows that you saw when you walked in and the ones behind me, Los Angeles has among the highest concentration of specialists in the country. We need to continue. We've reduced the wait for a child experiencing non-emergency room seizures. When we first started out, it was 6 months, to where it is now when we began today, which is a few days. But we need to continue. We've made specialized care available to all, but we need to continue. You have helped to support 2 local dietary programs with our goal of putting 100 new qualified candidates on the ketogenic each diet, but we need to continue. You have helped fund research projects as well as support epilepsy first aid and advocacy programs, but we need to continue. I'd like to say we have a little movement on our hands in sunny Los Angeles, but you know what? We need to continue. And this progress is thanks to you, your attendance year after year, and your donations. Someone recently asked me what having a child like Ari was like. And I responded and I said, Ari is just like any other kid. He's a gift. But then I got to start thinking and I said, a gift for who? For my family, 100%. He brings immeasurable joy to us. And in his own profound way, Ari is the emotional core to my family. He keeps us grounded. He reminds us that life is precious and it needs to have a sense of purpose. And you cannot be passive. But what about Ari? What is his life like for him? Can he conceptualize how he is a gift? I suppose over the years of accepting who Ari is, for who Ari is, and loving him unconditionally, I've become desensitized to the way that he's forced to live his life. Not being able to walk or talk or take care of his personal needs, and being 100% dependent on others. He is absolutely stuck in his own cocoon, trying but unable to come out and freely live his life. This has been going on for 8 years. When I see him laying down on a sofa or slumped over in a chair, waiting for someone to recognize him and come over and reposition him and straighten him back up, when he should be outside running around with his brother and sister in the backyard and playing, my heart is broken so many times that sometimes I don't feel it anymore. A gift. As it relates to us tonight, from the outside, it might look like we have a give and take relationship between us. Actually, the way it works is you give us your hard-earned money, and we take it. And then we strategically put it to work. Giving a community more doctors who can give specialized care to those who are the most vulnerable. You give, it funnels through us, and they take. And that's the way it looks, on the surface anyway. Recently, we armed our fellows with some powerful tools: a pen, paper, and a camera. We didn't ask them to go into Afghanistan, but we asked them to explain to their parents, not to their parents, but to their patients, how they got there by your donations, and ask for their story. Given the wide educational language and diversities of our patient population, we didn't expect much. But given the opportunity to give, to tell their story to you, an absolute group of strangers, was just what the doctor ordered. We received an overwhelmingly large number of letters, uniquely personal and unanimously grateful. Now keep in mind, these are mostly from families who didn't have a doctor before this dinner started. So where are these letters? Now, in continuing with the tradition, every year I stand before you and I ask for your help. Until the day where I don't have to stand here and we have no more stories to tell, we have to give. We need to give. And we have to keep giving beyond the pain of giving until the point it feels good. We have found that the supporting education of doctors is the most effective treatment, and in some cases cure, there is, period. Nothing remotely comes close. In year number 1 of this dinner, and year number 2, you funded 1 fellowship each year. Year number 3, you funded 2 fellowships that year. Years number 4 and 5, you funded 3 fellowships each year. And tonight, we're going to fund 4. Now, as Gump said earlier on today, we will have funded 13 fellowships, including tonight. Well, 13 is not a very good number, and that's why we have to go to 14. But behind me are the 3 individuals who have chosen to dedicate their lives to ending epilepsy. Please help us put a face on number 4. So back to those letters. Where are they? Well, actually, they're right in front of you. On every table, there's a box. And inside every box, it's got a little bow on there. You can't miss it. There are pledge envelopes. And inside the pledge envelopes, there are letters, your own personal letter. But you just can't take the letter because now we have a give and keep giving relationship between us. You have to give something back for this to continue working. And if you do that, Andrew and I, as a token of our appreciation, have something to give back to you. Now, I'd like to ask that every table appoint a captain and distribute the letters and make it their responsibility to collect them and return them to us. Now, here's a staggering fact. If we can get everybody in this room to participate and contribute at least $1 a day, we can raise enough money to put a face on that question mark. Now, I try to think what $1 a day buys you and realize that it doesn't buy you a bottle of water, doesn't buy you a cup of coffee, it doesn't even buy you a donut. But you know what it does buy you? It buys you peace of mind that 15,000 families have a committed partner focused on making sure that their child reaches their full potential. Like Nico, they can go to school and they can be walking and talking and live a functional life. Like Tiger Lily. Now, there's no ceiling. If we can average $5 a day, next year, I promise you, I will bring you 5 doctors and I will bring them on stage. $10 a day, 10 fellows. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your dinner.